Hey y'all, what's up? Hi loves, I am Alicia, but I go by Lee, and I'm honestly going to give you the full breakdown on how I redid my knotless box braids. At this point, my braids have been in a week and a half. Yes, I've been wearing my own knotless box braids for a week and a half. This is the jumbo version. And I added basically my own boho twist. Now to start this off, I actually got my hair professionally redone. The braids ended up only lasting for maybe about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, possibly. Likely because they did get wet in Aruba, and my hair is extremely coarse and very curly. So to preserve the style, I decided that I would redo them myself to save on money, primarily time, so I don't have to work with anybody else's schedule, and also because I figured I could do it myself. And if I can do it, I know that pretty much anybody else can learn how to do it. This is my very first time ever doing knotless braids. I added in the hair myself. Everything was done by me except for the parting. I reused the same parting that was used before. So I cannot go all into detail about how to part your hair, because I did shampoo my hair in the braids and then reuse the parting. However, everything else is going to be outlined in this video. How things went, what issues I ran into, things that I recommend and don't recommend, so forth and so on. So let's go ahead and rewind to about a week ago. My intentions are to actually redo my hair, start to finish, by myself, and cleanse and wash it. Now here's the thing, I cannot part to save my life. I absolutely struggle with parting anywhere that I can't see straight on. So if it's not the top of my head, I struggle with parting. So this is what I want to do. So I'm going to wash my hair in braids. I've never ever done that before, ever, and I'm honestly really scared that my hair might get tangled, but I'm gonna attempt it because these braids are chunky and not small. And then I'm gonna redo the braids section by section, or braid by braid. So first things first is I need to remove all of my beads. These are large knotless braids, and they do come all the way down to my butt. So if you saw my Aruba blog or my pack with me video, then you have seen quite a bit of clips with these particular braids. So I'm gonna take off the beads and save my beads, probably cut down the braids because I think it'll make it easier as I shampoo my hair. So a shampoo is needed. We are also, let's go shampoo, see how this works. Okay, my hair is wet and it is very heavy. So I'm actually going to use this Girl in Hair Under Hair Care, and this is a moisturizing water to foam shampoo with a spout. And so I'm gonna try to get right in the parting and see if I can get it to lather up so that I can clean my hair. I was worried about it being very heavy, and that it is extremely heavy. When it foams, it typically means that it's getting cleaner because there's not as much oil to break down, oil, grease, and dirt, and that's a great thing. So maybe I won't have to shampoo my hair multiple times. And I love the fact that this has this little spout on it. It's just so easy when it comes to getting into parts and crevices. So I'm gonna try to just work it in like this so that I don't disrupt the parting too much. I don't want too much more hair to come out of the braids. I really just wanted to get my scalp as clean as I possibly can inside of the protective style. Let's rinse this out. I'm wondering, should I let my hair dry before trying to braid it, or should I just braid it wet? Okay, so it's actually the next day. I realized that I didn't have enough weave to actually complete the style. I only really had like one bag. I thought I had more. So I had to wait to go to the beauty supply this morning. And I was actually able to find this 36-inch easy braid pre-stretched hair. And it was only $3.99 a pack. And the 36 inches will actually give me the length that I want. So I did take out one pack and kind of like break it up. I just put it anywhere that I could possibly put it. I also picked up some jam. But what I realized is that jam on my hair actually makes my hair revert back to being curly. So I'm going to be using a combination of my Allocate Naturals lemongrass, slay, and edge gel, because this stuff is phenomenal. And then I'll be using my under hair care leave-in conditioner from Girl in Hair, and I put a little bit of it in this top so that I can easily assess it when I'm braiding. I have a brush, a dual-ended brush, and then my Best with the Brush comb, and of course some water, because this is going to be a process. To get this started, I am taking down each braid one by one. I applied a little bit of moisturizer, which ended up being the leave-in conditioner, some gel at the top of the section, and some edge control, and then just brushed it through. Now I'm going to break it up into 3 parts, split each part apart, braid one time, feed in the hair underneath, braid one more time, and feed in one additional piece of hair. After that, I'm literally just going to braid all of the way down and really take my time, especially when it comes to tucking these ends. I'm not gonna lie to you, I had to start over a few times, and it did take a while to kind of get in the rhythm of things. So each braid took me roughly 6 minutes or so, and if you just saw how my ends kind of sticks out of the braids, what I ended up having to do is apply some more jam to the ends and then re-braid it. I'm applying the leave-in conditioner as my moisturizer to the entire length of my hair, and I was generous with it because I did want my hair to be moisturized. After I added in the jam and the edge control, I'm breaking it into 3 sections and braiding it one time, and then taking some hair, and you see how I almost put it underneath in between those 2 sections, and I'm gonna redo the same thing so that by the time you feed in these 2 pieces of hair, 2 sections of your hair will have 1 piece of the braiding hair, and 1 section of your hair will have 2 pieces of the braiding hair. Hopefully that makes sense. So 1 section will be slightly thicker, but that's okay, because as you braid through the length of your hair, what you can do is borrow hair from the other sections to make the other 2 sections thicker. I personally think that it's easier to watch than to hear me explain it. So I'm going to do this quite a few more times, hoping that you can see it better than I can actually explain it to you. I always feed the braiding hair underneath so that you actually cannot see where the braiding hair meets, and it's like a really seamless, flawless transition. So I'm using my index finger to grab it and then my other hand to grab the other section of hair so that I can continue the braid. I do not even make a full braid without feeding in some hair. So right here I ended up having to start over because it wasn't as seamless as I would like it, but I still repeated the exact same steps, feeding it in underneath in between my index finger and my other hand. And then once I get to the end of my hair, I add a bit more jam or edge control to really tuck those ends. So I'm going to show it to you quite a few more times just so that you can watch it and see the process, but I did the same thing over and over, and I tried to do this tutorial from so many views and angles so that you would fully understand how you too could apply feed-in braids. I had to switch locations because the lighting was getting a little weird, especially for the front of my hair. So I did actually apply a generous amount of edge control all over the sections of my hair because my hair is fairly curly, and once anything wet touches it, it will revert. So as you notice, I am feeding in the braiding hair underneath using my index finger and my opposite hand. I'm going to braid it one time and then feed in the additional piece. And what I also do is after I start braiding, I really make sure that I run my fingers through the braiding hair because it will get quite tangled, and if you don't continue to detangle it, then you won't be able to finish the braid. And then I just braid it all the way down. So by the time I'm at the front of my hair, it's getting a little bit easier, one, because I can see it, and two, because I've had so much practice throughout. Listen, your girl is done. Honestly, I don't think that I did too bad for the very first time. There are definitely inconsistencies in the braids. I didn't really have a problem with feeding in the hair. What I did have a problem was with tucking my ends. So you can kind of see like my ends sticking out right there. Hold on, we're gonna put a little bit of edge control on it. Bow. I think it's just because my hair is thick. When it comes to jam, my hair reverts back when I use jam. My hair almost looks at jam as like a wash and go product. So I won't say that this is the best for the edges, but I did kind of use it like throughout the hair to really slick it down. Now I also had to go back to the beauty supply store to get some foam. They didn't have the Nairobi foam that I saw like everybody using, saying that it was bomb, it was great. But she recommended She's So Bomb, because I go to this black owned beauty supply, and so she recommended me this foam collection, Slick and Slay, yeah, foam. So I'm gonna use this all over the top and kind of like throughout the braids to help slick down those flyaways. And what I'm also going to do is make the ends curly. Let me cut some of this off. I'm gonna make the ends curly so that it'll kind of give this boho look, and feed in some small pieces of this water wave hair. So anywhere where my hair is like sticking out or visible, I'm going to disguise it with some water waves, so there'll be like these loose flowy pieces throughout. I think that's gonna be cute, so we're going to try it and see. First things first is some of this foam. Just going to lay it everywhere. Ooh, that feels good. Smells like grapes, like grape soda. The lady that owns the beauty supply store, she was like, oh, you do hair? No, ma'am. I just did my hair this time, but I do think that for the first time it's pretty good. I plan on redoing this. I could redo this. In total, this took me about 4.5 hours. I did have a few breaks, a few interruptions, but that's okay. Okay, I'm just gonna you know, tie this down. I'm going to roll the ends, so I'll just split this in half. I got some, what are these, flexi rods? Because I need to set the ends. I have my hot water like sitting on the counter, so I'm just gonna lean and dip it so that I don't have to pick it up, but just know I'm dipping it in hot water. I don't want to drop it though. Woo, that's hot. Hot, hot, hot. It is legit smoking. Nope. Good to go. Yep. Look at that. It's so pretty. That's so pretty. Okay, foam. Okay. Yes, ma'am. I'm very proud of myself right now. All right, so now for this model water wave hair. You're literally, if you do this, you're only going to need maybe like 2 of these thick strands, because you're gonna break these up into really, really small pieces. I did this before one time that I did my faux locks, and I'm actually thinking about doing a faux lock tutorial because my faux locks were so much easier than these braids, but they did take longer because they were a lot smaller than this, a lot smaller. I think they ended up taking me like 8 hours. However, it is worth it if you want to save money. The first time I got these done, I paid for them, and then now I'm just redoing them on my own, and redoing them probably cost me about $40 because I ended up having to buy all of the supplies because I didn't have anything. So this is about how much I'm probably going to use for my whole head. This is literally just 2 pieces, but you're going to just pull out like a tinge, and this hair will tangle on you. So last time I did this with my locks, like as you wear them, it gets tangled because this isn't human hair, and kind of like matted and knotted and weird. So I did have to like constantly trim the matted or knotted pieces, so just keep that in mind. But what also helps is like a little bit of Shining Jam. Just coat the hair with it. I'm gonna put some in the front. So I will take my crochet hook and I'm gonna go right underneath my hair. Be careful when you do this. You're not trying to snag. Open up the hair, wrap it around the hook, close it, and then pull it through. Open it back up, and you're gonna use this to like make a knot basically. So you're pulling it through the loop, and then just tighten it up, and then boom. Look, little bohemian, you know, little, y'all see it. If the hair gets tangled, I just throw it away. I don't even sit there and fuss and fight with it, because you're not going to use anywhere near this whole pack. Okay, take the hook, bring it through, close it. Use this loop that's being created. Pull both strands of hair through the loop, or you can pull one strand through, and I think that actually makes a tighter knot. And then I just pull it and tighten it. Hopefully this knotless box braid tutorial was extremely informative. Every product that I use, I am going to leave it linked below, along with as many links as I could possibly find. Even if I can find all of the hair that is used, it will be linked in the description bar. I hope that you guys enjoyed. Make sure that you subscribe, and I will see you loves in my next video.